Hi there, it's Jen, and it is Friday, June 21st. Welcome. Thank you for joining me, whether you're there live or watching a replay later. I am here to make a project for you from start to finish, and I am going to do that in just a second. What I like to do first, though, when I go live, I basically do a draw from the card that I made the week before. And the way you get in on that draw is anyone who's liked, comment, or shared my video will get in the draw. So just to share here, this is the little card that I made last week using Designer Series paper and a nice little die. And then we finished off inside with that trees and a nice birthday stamp. Nice and simple card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to my software that does the draw. So again, if you liked, commented, or shared, you're in that draw automatically. And as long as you're a Canadian and not a demonstrator, you can win this card. So Vila, you fit that bill. So congratulations. And I have your info. So I will send you out that card. So let me just stop the share and jump over here. And I am ready to jump to the craft desk. So if you're there, please let me know. And if you're checking it out later, let me know that too. Okay, so let me move that out of the way. So today I'm going to work with something that you have not seen before. It is called Winterly Tree Tops, and it's this beautiful stamp set that has these birds on branches with berries. There's a double set and a single, and then some other branches and some nice little sayings. So what I love about this is it absolutely could be Christmas if you wanted it to be. But it could be anything else. So the sayings actually say, "A friend like you brings me happiness, sending thanks and so much love, and thinking of you always." So the sayings aren't Christmas, but definitely could be paired with a Christmas stamp set. So the reason I'm saying that you haven't seen this before, and I know that for sure, is because it is a stamp set that only demonstrators have access to right now. It's for an event that is being held tomorrow for demonstrators, an online event, and I'm participating, so I'm excited about that. They basically tell you how to cut your paper, and then you use the new products, and then you make new stuff. So this stamp set will be in the next catalog. So right now there is this catalog, the annual catalog, Stampin' Up catalog. So if you don't have this, just let me know, and I'm happy to give you that as long as you're Canadian and you don't already have someone you work with. But starting in September, there'll be another catalog which will feature a lot of Christmas things. So I will be making my list for those catalogs in July and August, which is why I'm telling you about it now, which seems early, but June is more than halfway over. So I'll be looking to start getting my list together for who I'm going to send the next catalog to, the September to December catalog. And this stamp set is going to be in that catalog. So this is a sneak peek, a preview, if you will, of something that I'm going to be playing with tomorrow. So you might actually see some ideas online using this because of the fact that demonstrators have this now and are doing this sneak peek tomorrow. So I'm also going to show you the rest of the suite, and then I'm going to make a card, okay? So the paper is called The Nests of Winter, and it's got this fun little birch pattern, which you can see I've already cut some up. And there's some, I don't know, branches or something on the other side. And then there's these birds. So you can see you can color these birds any way you like. You know, there's some blue jays or robins there. And then on the other side of this is a nice plain blue, which will work. This is one of those great papers that I'm just going to pull the camera up a little bit so you can see it better. There you go, you can see more. By cutting it here and then cutting it into 4, you actually have all these different cards, so that's great. And again, a pretty neutral background. I like actually that they have all these different birds. Pretty great. There's the same birch. There's another one with birch trees. This is also going to make good backgrounds. And then some other pretty, there's actually little birds in there too. That one we saw already. Then again, nice neutral background. That's garden green. And then these are some more Christmassy looking patterns, a little bit maybe, with the red berries. And this could definitely look like snow if you wanted it to, that page. And then it's got these, again, great birds that you could cut out if you wanted. So really pretty paper. So that's called the, what did I say, Winter, Nests of Winter. Okay, and then the Winterly Treetop stamp set, there's a bundle. So I've already got this in here, and there it is called Winterly Trees. Stampin' Up is doing that lately, calling the the name of the dies by the same name as the stamp set, which is great for us to remember. So let me just open this up. So this set of dies here cuts out this, and this, which is nice. And then there is more dies in this set. So it cuts out this great background and then a bunch of branches, so that are additional, that are different than just the stamp set. Okay, and then there's more. Hello, Marina, Philippa, and Joan. This is pretty cool and amazing, actually. This is a birch wood 3D embossing folder, and it's a large embossing folder. Look how big it is. If I can show it and compare to, let's see, here we go. There's the eyelet embossing folder. Look at the size difference. So this will fit in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the Big Shot if you have that. It's just it'll do a whole great big piece of paper. So great for scrapbooking if you want. So I'll just show you that exactly. And then I've got a little piece. Hopefully this shows up on the camera done with that birch. So, okay, so if you're just joining me now, I'm just basically showing some stuff that demonstrators could get access to early. This is a natural tones linen thread. We've got copper, navy, and garden green there. Very nice. And the final thing in this suite is these gems. They're called Earth Tone Shimmer Gems. So it looks like a vanilla, a crumb cake, garden green, and then the copper again. So they're very pretty. So demonstrators have this event tomorrow using this stamp set, and it will be in the fall catalog. So I am going to demonstrate something with it now, even though I know you can't get this yet, but make sure that you're on my mailing list. Let me just put a little thing up there for that. My Stampin' Up newsletter, and that's how you'll hear about these things firsthand, is if you're on my newsletter list. Okay, so I'm making a pseudo Christmas card, not completely Christmas, because I am going to use one of the greetings from here, so it won't be Christmas. And I'm looking around for my white paper, and I don't have any. So let me just grab a piece of white paper. I always have those at the ready. Excuse me, just having a sip of water. So I've got a piece of basic white cardstock here, and I've got this stamp, and I'm going to color, and I'm going to color in with blends markers. That's what you see there in the corner of my desk. So I'm inking this stamp upside down just because it's larger than my ink pad. So I always keep the stamp flat and tap the ink around to make sure it's well inked. And then I'm going to stamp here, press down. Okay, now when you're coloring with the blends markers, they do kind of bleed through the paper. So I'm just going to grab a sheet of grid paper here to put underneath. Whoops, I totally ripped that. It doesn't matter for what we're doing. You know, I always prepare ahead of time before these lives, but those things you forget. So I forgot to grab that. Okay, so that's with the Memento ink, and these are the Blends alcohol markers. I will put a list of all the supplies on the YouTube channel, and eventually this will end up on a post on my blog too. So that's the image stamped, and I'm just going to pop back here. And so how is everyone? What are you doing this weekend? Anything special? And I'm going to start coloring. Let's see here. I'm going to color with the... I've got a few here. So I've got Dark Poppy Parade, and I'm going to color the beaks of these birds. So my plan is to make these into cardinals, okay? And I'm going to do a male and a female cardinal. So the beaks are quite bright. That's the only thing I'm using that color for. And then I'm going to grab my light basic black, and I'm going to make the male cardinal. So I looked at some pictures online just to see, and I saw that they kind of have like a little mask that kind of goes like this, kind of like that. So I'm going to just color that in. And this is the light basic black because the dark basic black is very dark. And I wanted you still to be able to see the eye that was already on there. So I've used that. So you can see now that that looks much more like a cardinal. So the female doesn't have that face. And then I'm going to take the, let's see here, light real red. And I'm going to color, whoops, well, maybe not if the blend thing comes apart on me. I'm going to color the entire male bird with the light real red and the brush tip here. A little bit of it showing there, and a little bit of the tail there. So anybody up to anything all week, all weekend? I am, like I said, for 3 hours tomorrow doing this Stampin' Up event. It's called Creativity Now, and it is for demonstrators only. And this is one of the fun things that you can do as a demonstrator, attend these online events, and they're going to show us how to do some stuff with these stamp sets. So I'm very excited about that. So that was the light real red. So now I'm going to take the dark real red and add some darkness to this wing, a little bit along here and a little bit here. Okay, maybe a little bit around the mask too. Okay, and then the male cardinal has a bit of black on its wings. So I'm just going to take my light basic black and just add some sort of stripes. And then I'll take my dark real red, and I'll look at your comments there in a second, and I'm just going to blend them out a little bit so it doesn't look so like lines. Okay, and let me hold that up for you so you can see there's the male cardinal already. How cute is that? Okay, so then the female cardinal has more of a light breast. So I'm going to use this. This is the medium light natural blends marker from Stampin' Up. So it's like a peach tone, but not exactly. You could use ivory maybe here for this too. So I'm going to color the breast with that. And then I'm going to take gray granite because that is the color in the paper. So I just decided to grab it, even though I'm actually not using the paper. And I'm going to just color the rest of the bird, the female bird, with this gray granite because they're almost like kind of a gray beige color. The females, they're not as colorful as the males. I'm just going to grab the bullet tip here. And I'm going to bring it down a little bit into here and a little bit where there's some marks here from the artist indicating that would be darker. So I'm going to take the dark gray granite on the wing, maybe just up here a little bit, and maybe down here as well. And then the female does have some red on its top. So I'm going to take the light real red here, right here, the head, and a little bit of the wing, a little bit of red in the wing, and a little bit of red in the tail. And then again, I'm going to blend that out. I think I'll use the light marker for that, just so it's not, again, so harsh. And even the belly looks a little bit too dark for me because I've seen them and they're almost white. And so I'm just going to take my color lifter and I'm going to just scribble it over here to kind of make it a little bit lighter. So have a look. What do you think? My male and female. Joan says beautiful. Thank you very much. Okay, then I've also got some more of the neutrals. So this is deep, and so it's S200 and S100. So this one's a lighter color. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to do the branches. I'm just going to go over the branches like this. Their feet actually will be black, so I might just go over the feet with black. At least the pictures I looked at online are black. I'm sure that all cardinals are not exactly the same, but roughly, I think you would recognize those as cardinals if you saw this. I always think cardinals are so pretty, and they always, whoever they are, say that if you see a cardinal, it's a loved one watching you. So I thought that was always kind of cool. So I'm going to take the darker of the two browns and just run it along the bottom of the branch. I'll hold this up in a second so you can see it. Just the wider branches that I can actually access, just to give a bit of shading to the bottom of the branch, which probably will be really hard to see, but trust me, it's there. Just to give it some like a shading, like as if it would be darker there. Okay, so now the berries. So let's take the light cherry cobbler, and I'm going to color in the berries with the light cherry cobbler. And I'm just doing them all exactly the same color to start. I actually wasn't going to color this whole thing in front of you. I was going to color part of it, but it looks like I'm coloring the whole thing now. But you know what? Sometimes I think people like to see that because, you know, when we do things sort of halfway, you kind of wonder, did it all work out and how long did that really take? And oh, I see a little branch I missed here. So that's the light cherry cobbler. I'm just going to grab this marker here because I missed one branch. So let me just hold that up so you can see it so far. And now I'm going to add the dark cherry cobbler. So I'm going to add that into all the places where the berries touch each other. or where they're kind of like, might be on the bottom, so it will be darker. So I'm not being too precise about this, just kind of, like I said, wherever they might be darker a little bit. Now on the image themselves, there is a little spot, and I think that's meant to be a highlight spot. So I'm going to take the color lifter and I'm going to just color that, and hopefully it just lightens it up just a little bit. So let me hold that up. I don't know if you can see, it's very light. This side here has been lightened and this one hasn't. So let me add a little bit of lightness to there. Again, pretty subtle. And I see a little boo-boo here. This is what the color lifter is really meant for. Just whenever you color outside the lines, just to fix that. And I also see a little bit here, just where the male cardinal is. So I'm just going to just go like that and push it in to the paper. This color lifter does that. Basically kind of corrects your mistake. Okay, that's what you're saying. Beautiful, beautiful coloring, Cheryl says. Very pretty, Lorraine says. Thank you so much, guys. It's, you know, it helps when it's a beautiful stamp set, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take my light gray granite. That's my mark. Here's my light gray granite. And I am going to color an outline around the entire image. If you've seen me color before, you've seen me do this, probably with a blue, like Pool Party or Balmy Blue, but it just makes the image really pop. And when you cut out with Stampin' Up, it cuts a white border around everything. And this is basically going to take that white border away. It's going to basically make it the same as the paper that I'm going to put this on. So I'm going to hold this up, and it's only partly done, so you can see, hopefully you can see the difference from where I've colored and where I haven't. Okay, so this half here is colored with that outline, and the other half isn't. So you can see it kind of pops right against there. And on top of it, I'm going to be laying this onto a die cut piece of gray granite, so it's going to blend in seamlessly. So I cut this, and I cut it from this set of dies here. They're called Spotlight on Nature dies. They were out of stock, but they're back in stock now. Yay. And it's got 3 sets of circles. This set that I used have kind of like a little, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of Christmassy. It was a bit of a leaf. And then this one is lines, and this one is dots and lines. So they're kind of a fun set. So I cut it out of this one here. So I just pre-did that here, and it's got a few extra little holes that need poking. So let me just do that. Just taking my Take-A-Pick tool. So I don't see where anyone said what they're up to this weekend, anything. My husband and son are busy all weekend, taking a little course. And so I planned on doing some extra gardening and stuff along with my Stampin' Up course. But it's supposed to rain here all weekend in Kingston, so I might be stuck inside crafting. How horrible, eh? Okay, so I've got my card base here is real red. I actually did put the cherry cobbler up as well, but I thought the real red looked better. So I'm going to do that. Let me just get these markers out of the way. Hello, Vicky. Great coloring. Thank you, Vicky. And Wendy's joining us from Winnipeg. Hey, Wendy. Okay, so I'm going to fold my real red cardstock in half. So this is just half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that I've cut in half, and I call it hamburger style because it's short and fat. That's going to be my card base. And then this is that beautiful birch paper that I showed at the beginning of the video. So if you missed that, be sure to rewind and check that out later. I'm going to stamp directly on here with the black, and I'm going to use a greeting from that stamp set. It's saying, sending thanks and so much love. I'm sure there's lots of people I can think to give this to. So I'm going to hold that up. It's a little faded on there, but still you can see the message, so it's nice. So it's nice to stamp right on designer series paper sometime. And just in case you are wondering what stamp set that is, this is the one. And you can watch the beginning where I talk about where this is going to appear. Okay, so this is going to go on my card base. A little bit of that double-sided seal adhesive on here, like so. Okay, and die cut. So I would take this and put this on here on my machine, and I'm going to use a little piece of my removable tape and die cut it. So I did that ahead of time, just so I didn't have to bring my machine in. Whoops, sorry, moving the camera. So there we go, all done. I will die cut that one after. Okay, so and I've got that gray granite circle, so you can see that it just is nice on there. Looks like the background is matching. So this is going to go on here like this, but I'm going to do one other thing to it first. So this one die that I showed you that comes in the stamp set creates a border. So I decided, well, I'm definitely going to use that border because it's pretty cool. But I decided I wanted just all the branches. So we have 2 leaves there. So I could have, you know, run that through the Big Shot or the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine a few times. Sorry, they're there. But what I did instead was I just did this die cut one time, and I'm going to cut off these pieces. But let me just show you. This would be really cool if you did this for on the front of a card. You can actually do that half. You can peel this off. So you could put this, you know, in here or something like that. Anyways, I'm going to do a card like that. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this as a template, and I'm going to just trim off some of this greenery because I want some of those for my card. So let me just cut a few pieces off here. So I'm just using my paper snip scissors, and I'm just trimming it off. Just as a faster way to get all that greenery. Let me see here. I think I do this one here too. Okay, so let me see if that's enough to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the back of here, and I want to make it so that the greenery is kind of going underneath here, but not over top of the saying. So I kind of need to leave a bit of a blank spot. So I'm just going to take my seal and kind of do a bunch of edges here. So here we go, like so. If you see me flipping it over, it's because it kind of is a right side and a wrong side. Like this is the rounded side that would show out. So I am flipping that like that. Let me just hold this up and see how it's looking. We want one spot where there's no greenery, and we don't want it to go out too far because we want it to still fit in the card. I'm going to angle this one a bit more. Still fit in an envelope. Gotta look at it, that one needs to go that way. Let's see here. We need another one over here. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, yeah, so let's put some dimensionals on here. I always forget to put my dimensionals back when I'm playing. Oh, I've got some black ones, that'll work. And I'm just going to use those to help. Oops, that one went right inside. Hold on, I got to check this again, make sure I still got a space for that to go. Yep. Black ones are nice to use if you're using dark cardstock, because then you don't see the white when you turn the card sideways. Okay, so maybe I'll do one more right here. And I will look at your comments there. Great idea, Philippa says. Beautiful coloring for the birds. Paulette says, and Ruth says she's from Bishop's Falls. N-I. N-I or N-L? I don't know where that is. Is that Newfoundland? I think it might be. In Canada. Love that. Okay, so I'm going to just peel all these off. These are actually easier to take the backings off too, because you can tell when they're off, the dimensionals are black. Okay, so I'm going to stick this on here. Okay, so I've got one that's hanging over a little bit, but not too much. Okay, that's good. And then we're going to put this on here. Actually, now that I'm using these dimensionals, I kind of like them more because of the backing issue. Now, one of my fellow people that I do videos and stuff with, especially for our sketching program, I know she colors her dimensionals on the back with like a highlighter. So they're yellow. This is yellow. And then when she peels them off, you can tell because the dimensionals are white underneath. So that works too. Or you can just touch them if they're sticky. the back is off. So I'm going to add this one on here. And I colored my sample just a little bit differently, and I'm going to show that to you after. And in fact, I have an idea here. I'm going to go in and grab another couple of these. 1, 2. Of course, we have to do it in 3s, right? Everything's in 3s. Let's do this. Let's see if we can't add, again, just to make this a little different than the original, glue dots. Here they are. Let's add a glue dot. Can you guys see that okay? I'm just looking to see. Sometimes I get my hands and everything in the way. I'll take a little glue dot. I'm going to maybe tuck it in here. What do you think? Just to add a little bit more greenery in there. This is a very tiny piece. I maybe could have run through a couple of those dimensionals. Maybe we'll tuck it into here. There you go. A little bit of greenery hanging over. So this will be a good comparison to my original too. And another glue dot. Oh, did that go on my finger now? I'm going to put one maybe down here. There we go. That gives it a bit more oomph. How pretty is that? Okay, and we're not done, of course, because we need to add the bling. So the first bling I'm going to add, let me get all this out of the way, is the Stella, which again may not show up in the video, but it is very pretty in person when you add a little bit of bling to all these little, I want to call them cherries, but they're not really cherries. Are they holly berries maybe or something? And then the other bling that we'll add is the bling from the stamp set. And again, not stamp set, suite. So we've got some like crumb cake ones, some vanilla ones, but because we've added green in, I can totally add the green. Although maybe do I want to make it different than the other one? Let's maybe make it different. Okay, let's, I'm not sure if this will show up. Let's find out. Where are you? Gotten caught under there. Come on. Oh yeah, that totally shows up. There's one. We'll get a big one. We'll get a little one. And then one more big one. I'll put it down there. Okay, so let me hold this up and then I'm going to get my original sample and we can compare. So there we go. Again, I'm not sure if that bling will show up on the berries, but lovely card. Marina says Newfoundland is where Ruth is from. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me show you my original sample here. So this one, first of all, you can see that I've used the green, the garden green. There is no greenery poking through here, so I'm not sure which one I like better. More greenery or less greenery? I'm not sure. Tell me what you think. And the other thing you'll notice here is I highlighted this one with Pool Party as opposed to the gray granite. So I'm not sure. This one maybe pops more, but this one blends in more. So I'm not sure. You know what? I am thinking that I just don't want that one there. Let me just move this one. I don't know why. I just aesthetically, I want there to be a blank space there. Oh, I might not be able to do it because of my glue dot. Let's see. I'm going to put this here. A little bit of glue. There we go. Got it all off. I just want the branches to kind of fall together there. So maybe that's better. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you prefer? Do you prefer one or the other? The one I just made or my original samples? Or we could say the beige grommets or the garden green. Which do you prefer? I like both. Nice to have it different. Cheryl says, I like them both. Lorraine says, Marina has shared. Thank you very much. Great holiday colors. Yes, that's a good point, Priscilla. Holiday colors, green, garden green, and real red are beautiful together for holiday. And I love the gray granite with it as well. Let's see here. Marina said, lovely card. Thank you. Okay, so I think I like both. Both are gorgeous. Okay, so there we go. So you can pick either version of that. So what I'll do is I'll do a draw next week for this card here that I just made. And all you have to do is like, comment, or share to get in on the draw. And I will do a post about this too so that you can see that. And of course, make sure you're on my newsletter list so that you can make sure you hear about when that stamp set winterly treetops is available. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're watching the replay or watching this live with me right now. Have a wonderful weekend, whatever you decide to do, and I will see you all again next Friday. Thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye now.